ready to go ahead and get started. To the members of the public present, welcome to the Mobile GR Commission meeting. This commission provides input on mobility-related activities and programs to department staff and also recommendations to City Commission on policies related to these activities. As members of the public, we have two opportunities where you can provide comments. You can provide comments related to items on our agenda during the first public comment period. At the end of the meeting, you can provide general comments. We are not able to respond to your comments directly. We are listening and using your feedback to inform our decisions. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Next is roll call.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. I'm going to do roll call real quick. Lunger is excused. Wynn. Lisa Haynes is excused. Whistleink.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Kampmeyer is excused. Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Sesa. Here. Ninehouse.
Here.
Chet Patton.
Here.
Razel. Pawalka is excused. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Excuse me. I will now open the floor for public comment on agenda items. The board would appreciate having the members of the public attending the meeting today identify themselves before providing comment. However, it is not required to give your name. No public comments. All right. Seeing no other members of the public wishing to speak on the agenda, I will close the public comment period. Is the general, this piece here?
Oh, that's later.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right. So next is on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Great.
Approval of the minutes for November 7th, 2024 meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve. Support.
Cool. Good there. All right. And next is petitions and communications. Yep. I'm learning as we go. Thank you for that. Just call me Rich Substitute right now.
You gotta move in second.
I'm sorry.
You gotta move in second and then ask for vote.
Move in second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we can move to petitions and communications.
There are none.
Cool. And then we go back to the public comment and agenda items.
You kind of already did
Yep.
that.
Nope. Oh, too funny.
We're a little bit out of order, but it's okay. So we're going to move to our action items.
Got it. Chair and vice chair nominations.
So you ask for a motion to consider the action item.
I'd like to ask for a motion to consider the action.
So moved. Support.
Perfect.
So what you have in your packet is a nomination for your 2025 Mobile GR Commission Chair and Vice Chair, and it's open for discussion and nominations.
I might ask, we of course have a great chair and vice chair. Do we know of any desire to continue or from either of them? Chris is the only one who can answer this currently.
I was going to wait, just look around for a minute. No, I am enjoying it. I really am. I'm loving the work that we're doing together. I appreciate the support that you guys give me in being in this role, and I would love to continue.
And Rick would be here. He's running late from another meeting, so just that's to be known.
Yeah. I mean, I would put out there, and I don't know. Personally, I'm happy with the leadership we currently have. But I also know that Rick isn't here, so I wonder if it's something we wait to see if Rick, when he comes. I'd put that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, has there been any discussion that we would know which way Rick would prefer to go on this? Because to your point, I'd hate to vote and not have him available if that's something he wants to discuss. So,
I say I'm completely fine, waiting for Rick to give his input as well.
It's appropriate if you wanted to table the item until he gets here, and then you could go on to the other action items, and you could come back and vote on this item. You would just need to do a roll call vote, or not a roll call vote, but
Motion to
a
table.
motion, thank you,
Sure.
Commissioner, to table the item.
Okay, I can make a motion to table this item until Chair Nguyen is here to further discuss.
I'll support.
Sounds good.
And then do we need a vote, roll call vote, or motion support? Okay,
Cool. Next up is approval of 2025 Mobile GR Commission schedule.
So you have your schedule in front of you in the packet, and it's looking, we skip generally the January meeting because we meet that first Thursday of the month, and that's right after the holidays. And so we'll look forward to February, and then we're February, March, skipping April, June, August, September, October, November, and December. Any questions or comments, discussion on this item?
Nothing? Approval of the schedule?
Move approval.
second?
Sounds good.
All in favor?
Say again?
Call for vote.
Call for a vote. Vote.
No, you say all in favor.
All in favor. Thank you.
aye.
Aye.
You got it.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. Next up is the 89 Monroe Center sublease renewal with the Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives.
Thank you very much. We have Andrea who's going to look at this agenda item for you and discuss a little bit more for you.
Good afternoon. This agenda item is a routine renewal of the sublease that we have with the Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives. So they've been in a space that we lease since 2016. This is a space on Monroe Center that kind of connects our parking ramp to Monroe Center, but we have a little office space there that they've been using for their museum and archives for the past 8 years. They're in the process of finding a permanent home, but they've asked to extend this for another year. So we are putting forward a motion to recommend to the City Commission for approval that we extend the lease for another 6 months with a 6-month option for them to continue from July to December if they choose. I'll take any questions you have.
What are our plans if, after they vacate, are we maintaining that space?
We have a long-term lease with the property owner there. So if they were to vacate, we would look at options for either leasing that space as a retail front or repurposing it for uses that we have as a department, whether that's office space or some similar need. But we would explore those different options if they chose not to continue.
That would be on, for the department to seek a tenant.
Correct.
Okay. Has there been any talk of the department using that space for our own use, or is that not?
We've looked at different options. We don't have a specific plan for it at this
Yeah.
point.
You like where you're at?
Yeah, it's certainly not enough space for our entire team.
Yeah.
It would be sort of a subsidiary office, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's one option for us.
Any other questions?
I'm done.
Recommendation to the City Commission to approve a 6-month sublease renewal agreement for property located at 89 Monroe Center.
So moved.
There you go.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. I'm getting it now.
You're rolling.
All right. Next.
So you have no items for discussion.
Yep, no items for discussion,
You're going to go to your project updates.
and we get into project updates.
So in your packet, you've got a few updates then from this last couple of months. And the first thing that's up there that you might want to take a note of is your Art Prize update. And so Jennifer put together a little bit of information about what we are looking at as far as our artist that was hosted. And there's a photograph in there of that piece of art, and then also the different on-street or the amount of on-street and off-street transactions as far as parking and the revenue that was collected during that time. And it also just a couple of caveats there, noting that you've got your 2023 parking increases, rate increases that are in effect, and how that has looked over time. Also remembering that we had that extra hour of enforcement until 7 p.m. And then also we did not have usually we would have the Gordon Food Service Show this time of year, and that convention didn't take place. So a little bit, you might notice that we're kind of over time seeing a decline in our off-street and on-street transactions. And you'll also notice that between last year and then this past year, kind of a huge gap in our off-street revenue. You can see that about over 900,000 and dipping down under 700,000. And so we kind of made some notes in there about why that may have happened. Jennifer, is there anything else you want to add to this particular update? And any questions that y'all might have as Jennifer's singing? She's like, nope, all in the packet. The other thing about Art Prize, as y'all are thinking about some of these things in here, is that we also had, we have your Dash ridership update here, and looking at how that ridership grew over time. And when you look at the 18-day Art Prize period in 2023, you see that the ridership really grew quite a bit. So in the notes in here, you're seeing the difference between this year's Art Prize at over 20,000 rides, and the same period in 2023 was about 11,000. So really nice uptick in that. And then also just kind of a few details in there about our Dash productivity for October 2024, and noticing that change just keeps coming up from prior years. Max, anything you want to add? Always.
Yeah, one of the other things too, we look at ridership by stop to get a sense of how the system's being utilized, with particular focus on where some of those Art Prize activity hubs were, specifically along the Monroe corridor. And one of the biggest upticks we saw was the two stops, the clockwise and counterclockwise stops at Rosa Parks Circle. Typically these stops are maybe ranking in like kind of the low 20s to like 40s, so they're kind of like 50% and below, and those were the 7th and 8th most utilized stops during that Art Prize period. So like a pretty substantial uptick in activity in those particular geographic locations. So just want to add that because it was one thing to see this increase, but it's like, okay, well, are people using it for Art Prize, or is there just kind of more travel activity in general? So that's one of the ways we can try to ascertain kind of like how people are utilizing the system. So just want to add that little tidbit. Thought that was kind of fun. So thanks.
Does anyone have any other questions? Nothing? Cool. Next up is the City of Grand Rapids November post-launch report, prepared by Mobility Development.
Sure. So in this report, and we have our staff here that has been working with Mobility Development, this is on the car share. And so we saw in November our first full month of car share usage. And so we've got some pretty exciting numbers in here for you. We're looking at 37 users that took 137 trips with 5 cars. And I want to just ask Aaron, Evenhouse's team, Aaron, if you guys want to come up and add anything, you're welcome to. They've got pretty thorough report in here, but I understand that, sometimes it's nice to have a few key things pulled out. And this has been really exciting for this team, and we're very, very proud of, getting this rolled out. Now we have that first full month. So Aaron, take it away.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. This was the first time our vendor prepared a report for us, so we're going to be working on streamlining the sort of like KPIs that they report out and information they share. I was really surprised to see like a 5+ page narrative, so it should be a little bit more streamlined in the future to some of the key numbers, as well as potentially a couple other pieces of information that we want them to pull out. But as Jessica mentioned, 37 users took 137 trips. One of the really exciting things for me in this is so car share, like transit, the way that this program operates to be affordable cannot sort of stand on its own financially. There's grants and there's, the subsidy that the city put in for the pilot to sort of like make everything work. But the achievement of this program so far has been above and beyond enough of what they expected that we could expand the size of the program more quickly than we had anticipated. And the extra sort of like fare box revenue recovery would allow us to do that. So this is really exciting for us. And our sort of initial thinking was that we would go out and build extra stations. We're going to be talking to City Commission as a whole about this early next year. But we may want to just kind of double up on some of the stations that we have so we can get more cars on the ground because this has been really popular and we're really excited about that. And you can see here that enrollment is expected to lead to at least 200 members by the end of this calendar year. Yeah, we're just really happy to see these results and this being a good new mobility option for people in the community. And I might have mentioned this in our update last month, I don't recall, but Mobility Development was awarded a $2.5 million grant by the state of Michigan to expand car share across the state, which we're really thrilled about. It's going to represent an expansion for their organization as a whole and mean that we can get dozens more cars on the ground here. I don't know the exact timeline for that and when that's going to be finalized with the state and how that will overlap with our contract. But it certainly will, at least to some degree, and we're excited to see where that goes, and we'll keep you posted as we learn more information about that. Any questions?
Yeah, so I mean, I just have a comment. I actually signed up for it because, yeah, good thing to do. But just in terms of the visibility, it was actually really hard to find. If I was just searching in the App Store for Grand Rapids car share, did not show up at all.
Yeah.
I had to go into our packet and find where it was actually. So if there's any way that we can publicize this somewhere, because I know that is the Mobility Development has the app and everything. So if there's any way we can, somehow make it more visible so people know where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a couple of things on that. One, we're investing in specifically community outreach with a couple organizations, so WMCAT and Skills Consulting, as well as our social media and other outreach so that we can sort of get the word out about this. Our vendor is experiencing some growing pains and we are not entirely satisfied with their website and with the sort of access about some of these issues. So we're also in active communication with them about ways that we want to see them improve the website, and we can also look at them with the app and the sort of visibility issues around that. But it is confusing because it's the overall vendor's brand identity, and we were excited to sort of roll out this slick Dart identity, and we have beautiful pictures and a logo and all that, but that does create kind of a disconnect to connecting to the vendor. So thank you for bringing that up. That is an issue that we want to work with them on.
Any other questions? Cool. Rich?
And if you do experience any other hiccups, feel free to let us know directly and we'll ping them on it.
Cool. Thank you. Rich is back, so I will hand it over to you. Today it does, I guess.
Our updates finished? They are finished? Oh, great. He puts me in charge for public comment.
Well, we tabled this action.
Oh, do we come back to it? Okay, so we'll come back to the action item, chair and vice chair nominations, approval of the 2025 Mobile GR Commission schedule, and then the third item is the 89 Monroe Center sublease renewal with the Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives.
So just to clarify, we tabled the one item, chair and vice chair nominations.
the others?
The other two, they took care of for you.
Okay, they were approved, I hope. All right. Okay, so chair and vice chair nominations.
And I'll add
We
the
need to
discussion.
just get your opinion, your thoughts on what you thought about staying in the position, anyone nominating anyone else, and so on. I started off by saying I'm happy. I've been having fun in this role, and I love serving in this capacity and the support that we've received.
Even after this morning.
Even after this morning. It was last minute, but it worked out.
It was not my fault. The county commission meeting went 2.5 hours believe it or not, over controversial.
We are live
Arcade.
streaming this event,
Oh.
just so you know.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, it's the truth. It was over parking lot at the zoo, so I'm not saying anything that's not true. But thanks for the reminder. No, I'd be happy to continue to chair unless someone else would like to volunteer. I'm not married. I mean, I would welcome someone else if they were interested. Certainly would welcome it.
Someone needs to make a motion for.
Someone needs to make a motion to adopt myself as chair and Chris as vice chair moving forward.
So moved.
Support.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. All right, now we can go to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on general items? Now is your time. All right, seeing none, I get to adjourn. Thanks for subbing.
No problem at all, man. Good practice. That's what it was. I appreciate the encouragement.